collagen, native collagen for wound care. Okay, actually, I don't have too many experience in collagen dressing for wound care, but I'm interested in this issue, so I try to do some literature review, and I try to do some. Actually, it's just like a so do I presentation, and I repeated the collagen dressing for the wound care in the literature in my daily practice. So I try to share my experience today. Okay, I come from the Zhongshan Medical University Hospital, and the native collagen dressing is MIT, made in Taiwan, from the 惠合再生医学设计公司. Okay, it's from the pork skin, and it's pure, almost pure, totally collagen. Okay, in 2 years I select 6 patients were enrolled in this trial, and some are acute wound and some are chronic wound. Okay, what is an ideal wound dressing? An ideal wound dressing must provide or maintain the moisture environment, and can enhance epidermis migration and promote angiogenesis, and allow gas exchange between the wound tissue and the environment, and can maintain the appropriate tissue temperature and provide protection against bacterial infection, and there should be non-adherence to the wound, and must provide dormant action, and must be sterile or non-toxic and non-allergic to the skin. Okay, I tried to do the literature review in the PubMed from 1936 to this year. Okay, so a lot of paper talking about the collagen usage. In 1936, collagen became to use temperature dressing for the skin wound, and in 1979, bioburn dressing is a famous dressing for the burn wound cares. So it's first mentioned and introduced for commercial use in burn wound and donor site. In 1985, collagen matrix implants was mentioned to reduce the wound contractures. In 1989, collagen sheets can support the keratinocyte growth as a burn wound coverage in animal. In 1991, type 1 collagen significantly improved the wound healing process. And as mentioned, the collagen can recruit a number of different cell types, like platelet, macrophage, and fibronectin. And in 2002, the oxidized regenerated cellular collagen contributed to chronic wound healing. And in 2005, ORC collagen matrix can promote epidermal regeneration and increase growth factor in chronic wound. Sorry. Okay. In 2008, Chisholm cross-linked collagen sponge content recombinant human fibroblast growth factor can promote wound healing in diabetic rate. In 2014, a modified collagen gel dressing can promote angiogenesis in swollen model in chronic ischemia wound. In 2014, a neurotensin loaded collagen dressing can reduce the inflammation and improve wound healing in diabetic mice. In 2016, a collagen matrix dressing in treatment of chronic wound reduce wound healing time and wound pain as well. Last year, there's a panel meeting was sponsored by a city in Dallas, Texas. There's a lot of doctors talking about ORC collagen dressing, and they have some conclusion. I would like to introduce some conclusion in these meetings. There are some articles talking about collagen dressing for the wound care, but it's not too many. Till now, there's 58 literature in English and talking about the wound dressing of the collagen, and several kinds of collagen dressing, like with ORC or not ORC collagen, and some silver ORC and silver collagen. They provide an antibacterial effect when you use such kinds of collagen for the wound care. And in this paper, they also mentioned they have some dramatic effect for the lower extremity traumatic wound care. Such like this, you can see the picture after treatment, 7 days and 14 days, and the wound can heal at 20 days. I use the ORC silver collagen. And they also combine the HPO and negative pressure wound therapy. After treatment, 2 weeks and 5 weeks, you can see the picture of. And after that, they start to use the ORC collagen, and for 3 weeks, 7 weeks, and the wound complete heals at 3 months later. So in these panels, they recommended the collagen dressing can be used at abrasion for significant and partial significant wound, or some decaying surgical wound and donor site, or pressure injury, or diabetic foot, venous leg ulcers, and but some conditions they don't recommend it, such like the 3rd-degree burn with scar or any kind of wound with dry scar, or some condition maybe the patient is sensitive to do ORC collagen or silver shot. In this paper, they also mentioned such collagen dressing can be used either infected or inflammatory wound. It is not necessary to remove any residual ORC or collagen dressing from the wound dressing during the dressing change. And they also mentioned the collagen dressing prior to the grafting serve to promote the formation of granulation tissue, optimize the wound bed for the graft tech. This year, there are also 3 articles mentioned about the usage of collagen. First one, they talking about the biologic wound matrix with native dermis like collagen efficiency modulated proteinase activity and promoting the wound healing. They can reduce the protein-lytic activity of plasmin, HLE, and MMP 1, 2, 8, and 9. And the second one, they talking about the ORC with collagen. It demonstrates its effectiveness in controlling the non-healing wound, non-healing microenvironment of the chronic wound by restoring the balance between MMP and tissue inhibitor labeled. So the collagen dressing can increase wound healing rate. And this one talking about concurrent use of probiotic microorganism and collagen gel and scaffold together that enhance the wound healing in vivo evaluation. I would like to share the last literature. They mentioned about the concurrent use of probiotic microorganism and collagen gel and scaffold. You can see different kinds of collagen type tracing. The dry foam, scalp foam, and gel foam, and they try to create a model and try to demonstrate the effect of collagen tracing. you can see the wound healing time. And, you can see the next one, collagen gel and scaffold with the micro organism. They have a good effect for the burn wound healing and water here. Okay. The next part is my clinical case presentation. Okay, I try to use just repeat the collagen dressing in the lateral review. So I put the collagen immediately after the deep abrasion wound, and after I debride the wound and a small positive exposure area at the foot. So I put the collagen dressing, so it can stop the bleeding effectively. And after 1 week later, the granulation grows very well. I put the skin graft. Sorry. So you can see 6 weeks later, the wound heal is very well, and there is no tendon exposure area. Okay. The second case is 25 years old male, a cross injury at foot. So you can see the tendon exposure bone fracture and toe, even the toe necrosis. So I do the debridement, and I put a negative pressure wound therapy. And after the wound stable, but I also noted you can see the central part of the tendon exposure area. So I put the collagen dressing. You can see the first, the right picture. You can see some gel-like. That's the collagen. So after 2 weeks, use the collagen. I do a skin graft later, and the skin graft is very well. Okay. And another case is diabetic patient, and they have the leg open fracture. So there is also some anterior tibialis tendon exposure area. So I put the collagen, and I also combine the negative wound radiotherapy together. And so you can see after 1 week, I remove the bulk. You can see the tendon areas, the formation of granulation tissues very well. Okay, so I put a skin graft later. And another one is migraine low leg limb. He also had a vascular injury, so the CVS doctor do the bypass for the patient. After that, the wound is getting better, but still have some necrosis at the bone exposure area. So I put the collagen dressing and put the bark together. So after 2 weeks, the granulation grows very well. I put a skin graft later. And the third one is second degree superficial scalp patients. And you can see the burn area in the forearm and fingers. So I remove the bullet and I put the collagen dressing immediately. And 1 week later, and 2 weeks later, and 1 year follow-up. You cannot tell the scar from the picture. Okay, and I also try to do the collagen dressing on the donor side. So you can see the first one, just immediate and post-op, and 1 week later and 2 weeks later, the wound healed very well. And this one is a very interesting patient because I do the twice skin graft on this patient. The lady complained the donor side scar is very ugly. You can see the right side, the darkness and the one. And so I told her, so maybe we can try the collagen dressing for the donor side coverage. So you can see another scar on the same patient. And the scars is more beautiful after the collagen dressing for the donor side areas. And the next one is diabetic patient. He also had the PLD foot, and he received the partial foot amputation. And I start to use the collagen dressing for wound cares. And then, during this period, he also received the PTA for the PLD staining treatment. So you can see immediately the wound is not good, not quite good. So I put the collagen dressing, and in this period, he received the PTA by CVS doctor, and I keep the collagen dressing for the wound. And 1 month later and 6 weeks later, the wound is better. And in this period, I also do the swab for the bacteria cultures, and I keep use the collagen. And 3 months later, the wound is almost healed. And 10 months later, you can see the wound is healed very well. Okay, so it's my conclusion. Collagen dressing can be used in different kinds of wound in selected patients. It's not necessary to remove any residual collagen dressing from the wound during the dressing change. Okay, but the dressing frequency depends on the wound conditions. And collagen dressing can be combined with different dressings such as MPT and HPOT and ORC or other growth factors. And the use of collagen dressing prior to the grafting serves to promote the formation of the tissue and optimize the wound base for graft tanking. Okay. The Taizong have from Expo this year, so welcome to Taizong. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.